make some pulled pork. And for this I'm using a pork shoulder, and that is bone in. I took off that thick layer of skin and some of the fat, because we all know that anything cooked on the bone is tastier. And these are some of the ingredients that are going to be mixed together and then poured over it, cooked in a crock pot, about 8 hours, and then we'll finish it after that's done. So I'm putting this on at night, and then I'm going to sleep, and I'll wake up in the morning and finish it. We're going to put a little olive oil. Yes, loosen the top, it would work better. And the crock pot, this one you can brown items in instead of using a separate pan to transfer it. You just brown it in here. This is the mix. This is everything. It's quite a few items. So we're going to put the onions and the garlic in here. Just going to split these up for a second. I'm not putting any seasoning in there. Usually I season everything. But this pork is going to sit on top of this. And it's going to get nice and tender. And when that meat pulls off the bone, we're going to be done. And I'm making this much because this is going to be part of a chafing dish that I'm going to have on a party this weekend. And then surrounding the chafing dish will be the little mini buns that they use for sliders, because this is just one of many items that I'm going to have. And of course I don't want them to fill up with this using a regular hamburger bun. And I'll have some pickles and some fresh sliced red onion as a garnish. So that's just one item. Take this beautiful piece of pork, lay it right there. And then take this mix I have, and I will pour it over as soon as I turn this get this very good. Set the timing on this for 8 hours on high. And it is ready to start. So we'll just take this. It's a little warm. Place it in the pot. Then we'll move over here and take a gander. So really this mix here, this is what's going to give it all the flavor. This is everything. And when I get up in the middle of the night, because I usually do at least once, I will come and I will look at it. If I don't get up, I won't look at it. So we'll be back here in the morning, 8 hours from now. Just to show you, the setting is on high, and there we are. 7 hours and 59 minutes left. Well, it's 8 hours later, and look what we have here. A lot of grease, and the pork is done. So we'll take it out. Now this is going to take a little bit of work here. We're going to have to take the pork. We'll let this cool a little bit. And the liquid that's in here, I'm going to pour into a glass type container, chill it, remove all of the fat, and then we'll finish up. The easiest way to get that fat removed, you can see the line already here, the fat's on the top. I made 3 of these, put these in the refrigerator, and probably about an hour or 2 I'll be able to take care of this. Instead of putting a larger pot inside, it'll take forever to solidify. So now that the meat is just warm where you can play with it, we're going to just flake it apart like so. And where there's fat, you leave the fat because the fat is juicy. And most of the fat was cooked off when that pork was cooking for those 8 hours in the crock pot. So do all of that, and then we'll work on the liquid, the stock that was left. Pork is shredded, and this is just about almost $11 worth of pork. It's amazing how much more meat there is when you slow cook a product. Anyway, this is shredded. We're going to put this in a skillet, but first we're going to refrigerate it because that the sauce there, the stock, will take some time to get that fat solidified. And then we're going to put this together in a pan, finish it up, and it'll be a great item. We'll finish up. There's all the pork in there, nicely shredded. See the fat on the top? We'll just take that fat right off. And then we're going to put the juice in here after I take the fat off all the containers. See how much we have. I don't want this like other people make it to be watery. It's going to have a little body, so we're going to make a little cornstarch and water slurry and just thicken it up slightly. So when you take this shredded pork with that delicious sauce onto a bun, you'll see. Now the only thing that I didn't take the onions out. You want the onions. So we're going to pour this in there. And I have a funny feeling it's going to take all of what we have, which will be just enough. Absolutely. That worked out perfect. And you know what? If you got a little bit of fat in there, it's not going to hurt. Now we're going to turn this up high. And as soon as this, that is a lot. This is like, you can have a half a chafing dish full of this, plus a little left over. So when this comes to a boil, see how nice and just enough liquid in there to hold the shredded pork. And like I said, I'm going to serve this with little slider buns and some pickles and some red onion. Sometimes they put mayonnaise, but you know what? This stock that's in here that this was cooked in is so tasty that why ruin it with mayonnaise? So we'll let that come to a boil and we'll thicken it. So in here I put a little over 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and about the same amount of water, and just smooth it out with your fingertips. And this will thicken this immediately. And then we'll taste it. And this is the point where you're going to add either a little hot sauce, black pepper, or salt. So just pour this around, and I think that might be enough. As soon as it turns clear and bubbles just a little bit, that's it, we're done. Then we'll taste it. And depending on what part of the country you come from, will determine how spicy you want this. Me, I want it a little bit spicy. And not thick, real thick, like if you were making a sauce for chicken. You just want this liquid to cling to the pork when you put it on the bun. Not so when you pull this out of the liquid, all you get is just pork. I want that little bit of juice to be thick. So this worked out well with the amount of ingredients that went in to the crock pot, which cooked for 8 hours. I didn't do anything to the liquid except put it into the refrigerator, take off the fat, and put it all back into here. And now what am I going to do with this? My party is Sunday and today is Tuesday. I'm going to take this and put it in my half insert. I'm going to put it in the freezer. Absolutely no problem. It will come out exactly like this. What the freezer will do, it'll just break it down a little, and as soon as you simmer it, bring it back to a boil, it'll have the same body, look, taste as it does right now. If there's anybody out there that disagrees with me, the proof is in the pudding. There are certain things that you can't freeze and serve. But anything with a sauce usually works out. Okay, that's it. And with the body like this, the sauce is going to cling. You'll have more taste in your mouth than just slivered pieces of pork. And there, we're done. That's good. I'm going to taste it and then I'm going to adjust my seasoning. And that's what you have to do. Enjoy.